have learned to unfollow people who drain me. And that's not just online. That's in real life. It doesn't mean I cut them out of my life. I'm just not actively involved. Because there's some people that just are so negative. I call them psychic vampires. They just drain you when you're around them.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With
Well, good morning, guys. It is Saturday morning. It's just after 10. It's absolutely beautiful out, 70 degrees. Just another gorgeous day in paradise. Absolutely lovely. I went, filled up with gas. Hasn't gone up or down. It stayed exactly the same. So that's whatever. Still waiting because some people say it's actually going down where they're at. So we'll see. But anyway, I wanted to get out here by 7 this morning. That obviously didn't happen. Kind of knew it wouldn't. You guys know it's really going to be tough for me to switch over to mornings. I am not an early morning person. Getting out here by 10 was a struggle, but I did it. I'm out here and I'm glad I did, because as soon as I turned it on, the app, I got an order, a shopping order, a good one. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to go deliver it. And yeah, I'm going to stay out here for most of the day. I did good last night. And I'm taking tomorrow off because I will have worked, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I think I'm doing pretty good. And I think I deserve Sunday off. I want to spend some time with my hubby and Jazz. So anyway, today I was going to talk about 5 things that I've done since I've turned 60 that have really made my life so much better. So much better. Things I wished I would have done when I was younger. Oh well, hindsight's 2020. The first thing, most important, is I dress for me. I dress for joy. I don't dress to impress anyone else but me. I don't follow trends or, whatever's stylish. And I used to, whatever was trendy and cool, that's what I was wearing. Even if it looked horrible on me, because I'm 5'2" and a lot of the styles did not work for me. Let me tell you, when you're this short, like, remember the maxi dresses or skirts with boots? Talk about making me look short and dumpy. I'm already short and dumpy, so I looked extra. It's not a good look, but I was trying to be in fashion. So anyway, now I dress for joy. Like, Jen says from Genuinely Being, she talks about dopamine dressing, and there's something to that. I enjoy, dressing the way I dress now. It's my signature style. I get way more compliments now than I ever did when I was younger and trying to be stylish. Now I just wear what makes me happy, what's comfortable, and it works. And I enjoy, I guess, standing out. I never wanted to before. I always, kind of wanted to be a wallflower. I didn't like the attention. And being a people pleaser, I never wanted to dress too flamboyantly because, people frowned upon it, And now it's like I could give a flying flip. Obviously, I dress for me. And like I said, I wish I would have done that. Yeah, I would have been so much happier. I know I appreciate it when I see people with their own style, that aren't following the fashion trends, that are just, being them. Whether, you're just dressing comfortably, whatever. Dress for yourself, not to please other people. Because the fashion trends change all the time. And that gets expensive. I couldn't keep up with it. God. Oh, there's 2 mules or donkeys or jackasses. I don't know. What's the difference? But that's first. Second is learning how to say no without apologizing. I could never say no to anybody for anything, and they all knew that, and so I was everybody's go-to for everything, and it stressed me out. But that was my fault. I had to learn to say no, and I was so afraid of saying no and having people hate me. Again, being a people pleaser, it's like, I would rather burden myself and get all stressed out than upset somebody. And I don't do that anymore. I only say yes if it's something I know I can do and something I want to do. So, if my kids ask me to do something, that's 9 out of 10 times going to be a yes, because I do want to do it. It's usually has to do with my grandkids, and like you guys know, that's my greatest joy. So I will almost always say yes to that. But I've learned to say no, and that was hard. It wasn't easy. So that's 2. Okay, let me drop this off, and then we'll finish with the rest. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wow, you're starting my day off right. My gosh, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you. Okay, number 3. This one's also important. I have learned to unfollow people who drain me. And that's not just online. That's in real life. It doesn't mean I cut them out of my life. I'm just not actively involved. Because there's some people that just are so negative. I call them psychic vampires. They just drain you when you're around them. And I've had so many in my life. And I just, I've disconnected from social media. Other than YouTube, I don't do Facebook anymore. Instagram, I have it all. And I'll peek in there once in a while to check on my family and friends. But it got to be all consuming because, you have to follow a certain etiquette. You have to respond to people, and, people would make these posts, and, I felt obligated to comment on them, whether it was good or bad. And it took a lot of time, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So, yeah, I quit. I make time for the people that matter. And, there's a meme or something that goes around that says something about that. If you matter, they'll make time. That's the truth. And I do that. I make time for people that matter. I don't have a lot of time. You guys know, between, working and my family and my home, I have very little free time, and it's so precious to me. So, if I make time for you, that means that you're important to me, even if it's just a little bit, because I go months and months without seeing people I really care for, just because I don't have time. But, I'll check in with them and let them know, I'm still alive, and I'm glad to see they're still alive. But the people that I care about and care about me, they understand that. They know my life, and they know I'm not just avoiding them. You know, if I go, yours, then yeah, there's a reason for that. But mostly, you know, I'll check in with people that I care about. And there are some people that I care about that I still haven't checked in on, you know, because I'll see them, like I said, on Facebook or Instagram, and it's like, okay, they're doing good, they're still alive, you know. I need to make more time for the people that I do care about, but I have a big family, you know, with my kids and my grandkids and my husband. I have a full plate, so I mainly save my time and energy for them, you know. And we all only have so much, you know, and they're what matters most to me. So yeah, I give them the majority of my time and attention. Don't pull out in front of me. Yikes. So yeah, it's very important to do that, you know. And that was hard to do too. Again, it goes back to being a people pleaser and, you know, wanting everybody to like me. That was so important. My self-worth depended on it. I had to make everybody happy. I was responsible for everybody's happiness. That's how I felt, honestly. If somebody was upset, it had to be my fault. What did I do wrong? Why are they acting this way, you know? And that's not being a narcissist and thinking the world centers around you. It's feeling obligated to keep everybody happy. And yeah, I have had to work really hard at realizing that I am not responsible for everybody's happiness. I don't expect anyone to make me happy. I'm responsible for my happiness. My family makes me happy. They all do wonderful, lovely things, and you know, I love them and my friends, but I don't expect them to. I don't expect anyone to make me happy. That's my responsibility. Well, guys, I got so busy this afternoon that I couldn't even finish my video. And that's a good thing. I'm not complaining. I think that is awesome. And that's the power of manifestation. But that's from another video. Anyway, it was a great day. I'm home. My husband made me an amazing dinner, porterhouse steak with some veggies. It was wonderful. And I've got my grandson here, so I want to go spend some time with him. We were going to have a bonfire tonight, just the three of us. But I wanted to finish, you know, the 5 things that have made my life so much better now that I'm in my 60s. And I think I left off with number 4. And number 4 is taking good care of your health. Wow, that one probably should have been number 1, because, you know, up until last year, I don't know what I thought. I just, you know, I always felt like crap, for one thing, because I was sick and didn't know it for years and years. But I should have actively found a cure. I should have gone into the doctors. I should have known that this wasn't right. But I just kept pushing through it, you know. And it wasn't till I finally got so sick that I went into the ER, you know, and had to have transfusions and shots and weekly therapy, that I realized I had felt that way the majority of my life. And it just got to that point. And then once it got to that point, I found out what it was, and I worked on healing myself and getting healthy. I'm sad. I'm sad that I spent so many years being sick. It would have changed my life so drastically. But, you know, it is what it is. I know now I'm taking care of my health. I'm eating better. I'm taking supplements. I go walking for 30 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week, about 2 miles at a time. I move my body, you know, and now that I feel good, I'm like, is this what people feel like? I could have felt like this all my life. I didn't know that. I don't ever take naps. I'm 63. I never have to take a nap unless I'm sick. Nothing hurts. I have constant energy all throughout the day. I mean, I have my downtime, but I usually get a second wind. And I feel healthier and stronger than I ever did. And that has changed my life the most. Feeling good. So if you're not feeling your absolute best, go to the doctor, find out why, find out what you can do to change it. You know, a lot of times it's something just as simple as changing your diet. That's what it was for me, and it's, well, you guys have seen my past videos. I don't want to go on and on about it, but it has drastically changed my life. Feeling good, feeling energetic, having the energy to do the things that I want to do that make my life better. I didn't have that. Everything was tiring to me. Everything was such a chore. Getting up in the morning was such a chore. Oh, now it's like I wake up, and it's like I'm ready for the day. I'm excited because I feel good, and I can go places and do things, and nothing's gonna hurt. So yeah, your health, it is so important to take care of. um so yeah, that's number 4. Number 5 is I made peace with the chaos that is my life. Oh, what do I mean by that? I've always had a busy life. I raised a family, and then I had grandkids, and we've always been busy all my life. And I've never been able to devote enough time to one thing that I felt like, I did it perfectly. It was like I was always juggling all these different things, jobs and my home and the kids, and trying to have a social life, and doing creative things, and just, all these things. I had all these balls in the air, and I didn't understand why they weren't all perfect, why my house wasn't perfect, and I wasn't, able to do all the things I wanted to do with my kids, and do all my art, and because you can't. I don't think anybody can. And it's okay, you know? But I felt like I was a failure because I wanted everything to be perfect. And it doesn't have to be. And it's still good, you know? And I wish I would have made peace with that years ago. But I finally have accepted it. It's like my house will never be absolutely perfect. I will never have time to work on my art the way I want and sell it because, everybody's always like, sell your stuff on Etsy. I did for a while, not on Etsy, but I did festivals, and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of work, and I never felt like I had everything under control. I was constantly doing so much, but that's because I have nervous energy. So I'm always doing more than I probably should. But that's okay because that's me. And that's what I like to do. When I slow down, I get bored. So it's just, I have to realize this is me and it's okay. I do the best I can, and that's all I can ask of myself. So, yeah, sometimes the house doesn't look as perfect as I want. And sometimes I don't have the time to finish my projects, because I've got to work. And I'm just taking it a day at a time, just trying to make time for what matters most to me. And at this point in my life, what matters most to me is making memories and enjoying the people that I have in my life. Making time, like I said, what was that, number 2? Or was that 3? Making time for the people that I care about, my friends. I have good friends. Diana, I miss you. My family, you know, and I need to make time for them more than my house, more than my art, the people, and, making memories with these people. So, and that's the most important thing. So that's why I talk a lot about, going on adventures, because people are like, no, no, you need to just work. And it's like, yeah, I do. I need to work, but I need to have time to live my life and enjoy it and make memories, because it's going to be over so soon. My mom died way younger than I am now. you know, and she didn't expect that. She thought she was going to be around till she was in her 70s at least. And just like that, she was gone. And there was so much left that she wanted to do. And same with my mother in law. You know, they had all these trips planned. Nobody plans on dying, it just happens. So you need to, you know, live your life as much as you can while you're healthy and strong. And because I don't know how long that will last, you know, like I said, my mom was healthy and strong until she wasn't. She got cancer, and in 3 months she was gone. And she was just, to me, she was the specimen of health. And then, you know, so anything can happen to anyone. I don't mean to be a downer. I don't want to end this on a down note because I really am enjoying being in my 60s. It's been a huge blessing because, you know, like I said, I don't care as much about what other people think because most people don't think about anybody else but themselves. You know, we just assume that they do, but they don't think about us. I know I don't think about anybody else. I think about myself and my family, and you guys and my friends, you know. But I'm truly, I feel like this has been the best decade of my life, you know, going into my 60s. I'm, you know, even with the struggles, even with, you know, going back to work and all that, just mainly because I have my health, you know, and I have a clear head. So I'm able to appreciate things more. Before I couldn't even think of anything. It was just day to day, you know, I didn't think about the future. Now I can make plans and I can think about things because my mind is clear. And I just feel so much better. Oh, God, I'm going to have to edit this way down because I think I already have like 15 minutes. I'm sorry, you guys. If you made it to the end, let me know. I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, I skipped yesterday's video because I've just been so busy doing Uber and it's been going so good, you know. So I'm going to keep doing that, making that money and paying down my debt, saving some money, but I'm going to use some of that money to live my life and have some adventures and make memories. And I hope you can do the same. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go here and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.